I see churches spend so much time and effort reaching out to people that sometimes they forget to have a plan for when individuals actually respond. We've all heard the saying, when we fail to plan, we plan to fail. I'll just say, not following up erodes trust quickly, and trust is really, really important. Trust dramatically impacts an individual's gut feeling about your church. In some cases, that feeling can last a lifetime. Let me share a story. I was once on a business trip to one of the world's largest cities. My flight to return home was scheduled to leave Friday afternoon, and it was canceled. I was stuck in that city over Saturday, the day I go to church. I pulled up Google Maps, and there, just 1 mile away, was a church that I wanted to attend. I thought that was great. And since I don't buy or sell things on Saturday, I wasn't comfortable hiring a taxi or taking an Uber. So I thought, you know what? I'll just walk. It's only 1 mile away. However, as I peered out the window of my hotel room, there was literally an 8-lane highway completely going around our room like a figure 8. Getting across it on foot would have been just next to impossible. So as a last-ditch effort, I called the church, hoping against hope that a member would be willing to drive 1 mile and pick me up. After the church's phone rang a while, there was no answer. I left a message. Not only was the call not returned that morning, or that evening, or the next day, it was never returned at all. What if that call would have been from someone searching for a church to attend? You know, it really devastates me to think about people needlessly falling through the cracks. So what can we do to make sure that doesn't happen? Let me share a couple of common areas where I see this breakdown occur. First, an individual has been tuning into your weekly live stream for months. They finally have the courage to post a question, and they're nervous. Not only can they see their question, their friends can see their question too. It may not seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal. What happens if their question isn't responded to? How do they feel? Does that build trust? Do they feel special? What happens if someone calls your church? Will the phone be answered? And if it goes to voicemail, will it be called back? What happens when someone fills out a guest registry card at your church? I can personally say that I've been to hundreds of churches from Maine to California, and I've never received a follow-up, not one. What happens when someone fills out a form on your website? Will they hear back from you? If they see an event on your church's online calendar and they show up, will that event actually happen? If they send your church an email, how quickly will they receive a follow-up? Does your church struggle with any of these? A couple of thoughts as you wrestle with these scenarios. First, I realize that this is a struggle for every church. Second, realize that filling these gaps in communication is a journey. Third, technology can be really helpful here, but it first starts with the right mindset and some simple concepts. So here are a few ideas to get you started on the right track. First, setting an expectation where possible. When someone contacts you, if they don't get immediately connected with someone, which is normally the case, then set an expectation that you can meet. Here's an example on a voicemail recording. Thanks so much for calling our church. We're thrilled you did. We look forward to connecting with you, and we will do our absolute best to return your call within 24 hours. Same concept from an email or a form on your website. A little bit of insight from my business background. We have a lot of experience working with very large organizations around these concepts. And for comparison's sake, if this was a for-profit business that was selling a product, there's industry research that proves if a prospective customer doesn't get a response within 5 minutes, the likelihood of them actually becoming a customer drops by 50%. I think we both can agree that a church's message is way more important than selling a product. Something to ponder. Second, ownership. Many of the churches we work with don't have the luxury of a full-time or even a part-time secretary. That means some extra organization needs to go into making sure that individuals within your church have ownership and guidance when it comes to responding to requests like this. And third, accountability. In every line of work, business, nonprofit, church, everyone needs accountability. For there to be accountability, there has to be clear and concise goals and an ability to measure if it's being met or not. In addition, church leadership needs clear visibility into these reports. I'm a huge proponent of the old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure. In one of our earlier videos, is a church a brand? Should it be? We learned that in a church context, that a brand is a person's gut feeling about your church. A powerful influence on an individual's gut feeling is delivering on our promises. It's better to not have a phone number at all than to completely ignore the calls you receive. By offering it, it's a promise that you will return it. Because promises like these are often not visible, a lot of times we see them fall through the cracks or get prioritized to the bottom of the pile. The good news is, by putting a plan in place, we can build trust. The question is, do you have a plan? In later posts, we'll discuss additional ways your church can connect with your community. Make sure you don't miss those future updates by subscribing. And if we can be of help, we'd love to work directly with your church. Just contact us and let's have a conversation. Until next time, this is Chris Dellen with Rethinking Evangelism.